Hi, this is Rod Saunders from Jew and Greek with another Musical Monday. Today I want to talk a little bit about arrangement. Arranging is a crucial thing in developing music for either public performance or for recording. You want to have an arrangement that maintains and grabs the attention of the listening audience. Now, to show you just an example of how important arrangement is, there's an old song that was a hit about 50 years ago for Richard and Karen Carpenter called Close to You. Close to You was actually composed by Burt Bacharach back in the early 60s. And he recorded it. Herb Alpert of Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, he's part owner of A&M Records. He recorded it, and Dionne Warwick recorded it. All three recorded this tune called Close to You. And their arrangement varied, but they all used the pulsating eighth note rhythm to it. So it would go... Why do birds suddenly appear? So they had that bum, 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 bum. And that's kind of reminiscent of the 50s ethereal sound that a lot of producers or arrangers did back in the 1950s. But this was the 1960s when these guys were recording it, and music was changing, and that style didn't have as much appeal. Even after big-name artists like Dionne Warwick, Burt Bacharach, and Herb Alpert recorded it. So Herb Alpert, who had signed Richard and Karen Carpenter, he gave the song to Richard Carpenter, and he said, see what you can do with this. Now, he didn't let him listen to the other recordings. He just basically handed him the lyrics and the notes, and 4/4 time. Just the basic score, said, see what you can do with it. Well, Richard sat down at the piano and played around with it, and he came up with the idea of doing a shuffle. So instead of doing the eighth notes, he did why do birds dun, 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 dun. I'm messing it up, but that's basically what he did. He went with more of a shuffle feel on that. Did that on the piano, and it gave the song a completely different vibe. Of course, using Karen's voice, he knew that she had a good lower register, and so he put it in the right key for her voice. And then he brought in his vocal arrangements, which Richard was famous for, and the song became a big hit because Richard understood what the song needed, and the others didn't. As a matter of fact, Burt Bacharach, the guy that wrote it, after he heard Richard's arrangement, he said, I knew as soon as I heard it that was a hit, and I knew that I had blown it because I didn't do the song justice with my arrangement. So arranging is very important. You have to have not just the right notes and the right melody, the right lyrics, but you also have to present it in a way that captures people. So when it comes to solo guitar, and you can use this approach with really any instrument. If you're playing hymns or if you're playing songs that might get repetitious, if you're doing a solo instrumental arrangement, there's some things that you can do. What I do is I use modulation, medleys, variations in tempo, and variations in complexity. For example, I did an arrangement years ago, and I am totally out of practice. I'll just let you know in advance. I ran through this before I started taping, and I realized how out of practice I am on this piece. But it's my arrangement of Fairest, Lord Jesus. I came up with this back in the 80s. And it starts off in C. My guitar is tuned down a little bit, so this isn't really C. Because I've been trying to sing some stuff, and I don't sing as high as I used to. Anyway, This starts off in C and then modulates to D. The first pass through is just the basic melody with a little bit of embellishment. A little slower tempo. Now I'm going to speed it up a little bit and add a little bit of embellishment. Okay, so now I'm modulating into D, and I'm going to put a little more energy and a little different sound because the fingering and the chord textures are a little bit different. So this is my third pass through in D. A little bit sloppy, but like I said, I'm out of practice on that. But that's basically the idea on that arrangement. The first pass through, slower, more simpler. The second pass through, a little faster, a little more energy, and a little more complexity. And then the third pass through, you modulate up a key and give it more energy and more complexity. And that way you're repeating the melody, but you're not repeating the way that you play it, so it's not repetitive so much. Another tune that I've done is a medley of what we call hymns of invitation. Now, in the Baptist church, you have these songs that you sing when you invite people to come forward and receive the Lord. And they're called hymns of invitation, like Just As I Am, which I'm not doing in this medley, but that's probably the most famous hymn of invitation. But this one is it's a medley of three tunes. The first is There Is a Fountain. And then the next one is Jesus, I Come to Thee. And then the third one is I Surrender All. So it starts off like... Now we're going into Jesus, I Come to Thee. Now we're modulating into D for I Surrender All. Now this is the third pass, or the second pass through on this particular hymn of invitation, and I'm going to play it in the same key, but I'm going to give it a little more energy. Ha. I'm so sorry I'm so sloppy, but like I said, I don't practice an hour a day like I used to. I'm too busy doing the other YouTube stuff and other things that I'm involved in right now, but at least it gives you an idea of basically what my approach to arranging is, and you can use your own approach, of course. Like I said in the first Musical Monday video, the more artists you listen to, the more ideas you have to draw from musically. And so you can take ideas from all kinds of artists, put your own twist on them, and make it uniquely yours. So just listen to a lot of music, try a lot of different things, and be open to exploring different genres, different artists. Maybe take a hymn that most people aren't that familiar with, and maybe even rework the lyrics a little bit. There's all kinds of possibilities out there. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something from it. And again, sorry about the the mess ups here and there, but that's what you get when you've laid off. I haven't done a gig in 6 years. So I don't practice as much, and I couldn't believe when I picked up my guitar a while ago, I couldn't believe how rusty I was on this. But I'll get better. The more I start playing, the more I'll want to practice, and you'll see, hopefully you'll see an improvement, just like you've seen an improvement with my other YouTube video. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.